I feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move.
Alrighty. Okay, I think we're live. I don't know if we're live, but I'm hoping that we're live. Give it a sec. I want to, before I do all my intro stuff, let's make sure my mic's on. Okay, stream's going. Stream quality excellent. If you guys could see me and hear me, that'd be pretty dope. Just let me know real quick so I don't feel like such a goof. That would help me not be so self-conscious. Kate LaBelle, Daniel Stout, Brooke, Kalechi, Isaiah Penny. Hello, all you early birds. What's crack-a-lackin'? Weird, right? Streaming on YouTube. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that this was possible except for me for like 4 years doing anime nights before having to move to Twitch because... Not going to say anything bad about YouTube. Not while I'm still concurrently on their site. What's going on, everybody? Mic is on. You sound and look good. Now, that's what I like to hear. Just a little of this. Like that. I'm just letting everyone kind of load in. If you've been around for any amount of time, right? I do State of the Chunions is what I called them. Basically, it's a State of the Channel. I just did it in January. And, you know, kind of just talk about like what happened with the channel back in the day, talk about my study, like did I hit my goals, did I achieve them, talk about what the channel is going to be in the future, and I normally make that video, it would be up last Wednesday, it's usually the first Wednesday, I take basically Christmas until my birthday, January 6th off, but for anyone that knows dates, or that remembers when the Capitol burned down, that was my birthday. Happy birthday, Chad. Yeah. So, instead of being able to make a video that day, I was like, I'm going to celebrate my birthday. So that's why it's the 13th. It's my first video of 2021. And it could be a real video. There's no reason I didn't make this a video. I just kind of missed like being live on YouTube and like hanging out with you guys. I am live on Twitch. If you guys don't know, you know, Hibbidin and Hoppin and whatever kids do nowadays. It was way more often until I'll explain later why that changed. But you can go on my Twitch. I do go live there from time to time. But yeah, so today I just wanted to talk about like what's going on with the channel, where I've been, what happened. I shouldn't have missed any of my last videos. It's just for anyone that was new, I take Christmas to my birthday off, so nothing scary there. I didn't leave you. Okay, everything's fine. Though there was a lot of really cool stuff that happened last year, along with a lot of bad stuff. But I think we're all sick of talking about the bad stuff. I think that was... who wasn't affected by 2020, right? So, instead of me going, oh, well, you know, I couldn't do the trips I wanted, or I couldn't, you know, I had all this stuff planned for Japan, and I wanted to film, and I couldn't do it. Instead of talking about all that stuff, let's talk about the good. I probably should have written this out. I guess very first thing, December, like the end of November, December, I had so many views. I had so much stuff to do. By the way, if you guys want to like ask me anything or talk to me in the chat, I have the chat in front of me. I'll be reading as much as you guys want. So I'm here for you. I'm not playing a game. I'm not watching an anime. So if you want to chat it up, feel free. Or if you have any questions, you can ask. I'm happy to answer if I know the answer. I'm not... I'm not like Prime Ultimate when it comes to knowing everything, but if I know the answer, I'd be happy to answer. But anyway, so I did so well that two things actually opened up for me for the channel that I didn't expect. I got access to memberships, like that monthly membership thing. If you guys see on some of the bigger channels, they have like a little tab. I wish I could show you. Maybe I can't. I'm not going to right now. Good, Chad. How the hell are you? I'm doing really good. I had a lot of time to rest, Brooke, and I'm very excited for YouTube. Like, I'm very good at not getting burned out. Like, I really do get to be passionate, and I think that comes across in my videos because I'm limiting myself. I'm saying only one video a week. I make sure I take the holidays off to spend with my family, that type of thing. So now that the holidays are over, we're starting the new year. I'm super duper excited for everything. So how are you doing? How was your birthday? Tell me all about it. Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, so I could do memberships, and there's things that I can give away for memberships that I wasn't able to do before. And so if any of you guys can check out my description on any of my videos, including this one, I believe, you will see something for Discord. I have a Discord with like close to, it's either 400 or close to 500. I don't remember. I'm not looking at it, but a lot of people. And I've been building tiers for how this channel will do memberships there. So if you guys have something that you would want to see from me or want me to be a part of a membership, join the Discord, talk to me, help me build it. That's been one of the cool things, is like talking and hanging out with people. And I guess also one of the really cool things about my channel is everything I've done has been in response to people. Like, I remember the Patreon was because you guys asked, like, hey, how can we support you? I didn't have a Patreon for years. And I was like, I guess I could do a Patreon. And that started the manga club, which started all of this really cool stuff that I still get to do to this day. So when it comes to memberships, I think we can make it really cool and special. There have been talks about a Japanese Minecraft server for people who want to like immerse, but also who hate having spare time. So that's pretty cool. Well, I got way more attention than I feel I deserve. It was awkward. Well, that's good. It's better than being lost to time. Which is how I feel constantly being 27 now. Ugh. Yeah, so help us build that. Help that be a part of our lives. Like, I think that's really freaking sweet. On top of that, it also allowed for merch, which I hate YouTube merch. I've always hated YouTube merch. I don't want to do it. In fact, I've been very reticent to ever want to do it because I hate that. Like, it's always like a chibi character of the person, or it's like a basic hat that says Chad Zimmerman across the top, and it sucks. I hate it. And so I want to show you guys something. So actually, how about this? I'll do this both ways. So I put out a book this year, and I met a very talented artist, Svetlana Kulagina, who helped us do the covers, lots of the art inside. I'll actually show you the books that I published this year. But I want to show you, like, we decided when it came to merch, I don't want it to be merch. I hate YouTube merch. I want to start a clothing line. Why not? Like, what's stopping me? Like, making really high quality clothes with designs that have no attachment to me. My name's not on it, my face isn't on it, has nothing to do with me, but it's just something that even I would want to wear. And what do I mean by something I would want to wear? Check this out. Oh, not that one. Check this out. Look at that. She made that. And imagine that on the back of a bomber, right? Like some giant silk pressed thing. I would love to wear that. So we're working on getting that done right now. That's going to take a lot of planning, because imagine stuff like Teddy Fresh, right, with Ethan and Gila. That has nothing to do with H3. That's like a clothing line in and of itself. Or like Tsuki with PewDiePie and what's her face? Marcia? Oh, I'm going to mess that up. Or alien clothing from Elvis the Alien, right? These are YouTubers that have clothing lines. They're not like dumb merch. It's not like that Jake Paul gang merch where really is only attached to him. It's not something super fashionable that you'd want to wear on your own. So we're going to work on that. That's going to take a lot of time, though. We're thinking by the earliest, after I check out manufacturers and after I've gotten lots of samples, we've gone through lots of designs on different types of clothing, probably June or July is the earliest. Beyond this picture, just to keep you guys updated, isn't that freaking rad? So I also published 2 books this year, and I do see chat. Hold on, let's see what's going on. You're old. What are you drinking? This is kefir. It's a bubbly fruit juice. I just have it in a Grolsch bottle. It's like a homemade soda, but this is orange flavor. Do you have any goals for 2021? I have a lot, and I'll go over those goals. I do have them written up. So we're going to go over what my goals for this year, and I'm also going to talk about my goals for last year, I believe. So that way we can kind of see how well I did, both like in language, in YouTube, my working out goals. I work out constantly even now, but my gym was closed for a lot of last year, so I wasn't able to do exactly what I wanted, but that's okay. Yeah, I know we're old, Brooke. Don't don't bring it up. Currently nothing, but I have wine and whiskey. Well, that is, that's basically the same thing. Have a great day, sir. Happy to see you today. It was good to see you, too. What is that? Urutora? Purasu. Cool. Good to see you, too. Urutora Purasu. Green Seas. Yo, that's dope. Yeah, this is delicious. By the way, if you guys want... if you guys are into probiotics, I'm not one of those guys that are like, oh, the probiotics will cure cancer. I'm not one of those guys. I just like the way it tastes. But if you're into probiotic drinks like, what was that? Kombucha. This is like kombucha, but doesn't smell and taste like death. And you can make it yourself. You just order water kefir grains on Amazon. It's like $10. I make all my own. That's why it's in a Grolsch bottles, because I make it myself. Same to you, throw trees. Well, yeah, throw trees in the snow. That's not going to work very well. Anyways, I made my own books. And so the girl that made that really sweet design, let's see if I can get these in the frame. These are hers. Like, she freaking did these. This is a coloring book that we did. That, oh, man. I might have to bring my opacity down. But it is just ridiculous how can you see this? It doesn't do it justice. That's so sad. Yeah, it's so freaking pretty. And then with that, there's an actual translation. This was a translation effort we did. So we translated a bunch of Russian fairy tales. A lot of them for the first time in English. And these are the books. Oh, I wish you guys could see it. Yay, there it is. So, like, I basically got to run a team. So I was in charge of setting deadlines and dates, allocating jobs, making sure that everyone's on track, because I've worked with translation teams. It was kind of sucky, because I do a lot of Japanese translation, but I'm sure I've talked about this in videos. So much of that I do is, like, not fun stuff, or not cool stuff, nothing I brag about. It's like, not IKEA, but like IKEA furniture, like how to put together pamphlets, instruction manuals for like electronics, like nothing that I can like brag about and show people. So the fact that I got to do something that has my freaking name on it, like I don't know if you guys can see, you can't. Oh, it makes me sad. I need to change my white balance, but that's my name right there, chat CM Zimmerman. It just felt really good, and so this was actually a pretty big success. We hit the top 17 in our category on Amazon in the world, which feels really good. So we actually decided, and that's one of the other things I want to show you guys, that same girl that's helping me with my clothing line that did that, we just, as a team, we work well together. We're making a coloring book to teach people Japanese, so it has nothing to do with Russian now. This one's Japanese. We're going to teach, it's not like a textbook, but it's like teaching yokai names, like how to write kanji and how to read them for different Japanese yokai. It'll be 50 different yokai. You can see these are some of the bits we've done. Not that one, sorry. This one. You can see how talented she is. She makes me embarrassed that my name's on the project because, oh my god. But yeah, so what we're going to do is there's going to be a coloring book, much like, the coloring book here. But instead, it's going to have on this page, at least this is the plan right now, it's going to have an explanation in English of what the yokai is. It's going to tell you a little bit about it. There will be a coloring book page like these, so you can color in yourself as you're learning. And there'll be a section to learn how to write and read the specific kanji to that yokai, and it'll build as you get into the book. So you'll learn kanjis that you'll later use and be like, oh, I know that one. So I think that that's going to be really cool. I haven't seen a lot of, like, something that teaches some amount of Japanese in a coloring book format. I just feel like that's so weird and unique and quirky, and I freaking love it. So we're doing that next. That should be out around Valentine's Day, worldwide on Amazon, hopefully, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, that's coming out still. Lots, obviously, getting done. I'm working my butt off. We also have a bunch of Japanese stuff that'll be getting to this summer. God willing, Japan opens up. I can go over there and start filming. Brooke, I'm actually sending you, Brooke, I think I'm sending you one of each, actually. Of these, for your birthday. Just they haven't shown up yet because they're slow. So, but the Japanese one, I'm very, very excited about. These, I mean, oh my god, look at these. They're so cool. And I have a lot of them. So far we have, just of the pictures, about 25 done. So I think there's a lot of really cool stuff there. Why don't we talk about my Japanese this year, or I guess even last year, huh? Let me pull up while I'm here. Get in my Evernote. By the way, how is your guys's? What are your guys's? This is something I'm curious about. What are your goals for this year? Like, what are you doing at? It could be Japanese. That's usually pretty much how everyone works. But it could be anything. I don't care. What is your Japanese goals for this year? Or just, I don't care. Give me your weightlifting goals. Give me your, I don't know, maybe you're learning sign language. Give me those goals while I'm pulling this up. Because I have it on a document here. I know it's so cool, isn't it? Do you plan to listen to anything new this year, or what music in general helps you in some hard times? That's a great question. So in case you're wondering what I'm listening to, if it's Japanese-wise, I do have a playlist called Chad's Infinite Japanese Playlist because I am horrible. And you can go on there. That's a lot of the Japanese I listen to, and when I find something that's really cool and unique, and it's not just like random K-pop, I add it to that playlist. For me, Tom Waits is a lot of fun. I've been listening to him a lot lately. John Denver, I have like almost all of his like vinyls. I collect vinyls, and I have almost all his vinyls. So John Denver's been way beyond like Country Roads has been a very nice thing for me. Oh, I forgot the Tengu's on the screen. Hold on. Sorry. Now we're cooking with gas. So yeah, there it is, my goals. So again, I didn't really get to enjoy. I was supposed to take an off year from the JLPT, mostly because there was some background stuff that I was kind of planning. I was talking to the people that put it on, wanted to film a lot of stuff without taking the test, like filming the lobbies and doing promotional stuff. Turns out the people that make the JLPT know me. Who would have guessed? But they canceled everything here in my state, and I was locked here, so I couldn't go to Japan and do it. So again, I don't have any plans to pick up the JLPT this year, but I know one of my very first things that I'm doing is I want to finish the remaining kanji I have in my antique kanji book. So I have basically the Joiku kanji, the kind of, I think, is that the right word? It's probably not. The everyday kanji, Nichijo kanji. That's probably not the right word either. Either way, I don't care. Like that kind of 2,000, 2,500, whatever those are, right? The kind of daily use kanjis. And then I got almost all the way through RTK. I had to switch over to a different thing near the end just because I was doing research for the yokai book. So didn't get to finish that. I will. I mean, I'm close to finishing it. I'll finish that out really quick. So I want to learn the remaining 700 old readings that I've been going through. I have a antique. That's not it. Ancient Japanese dictionary. I don't think that's right either. I'm so tired. But either way, I have that going for me. So that's the very first one. I want to finish that. I have about 700 individual kanji readings left to learn with that one. And then I think that's by the end of the year, which means I only have to learn about 3 per day and 5 per week. Or 5 days a week, right? So 3 words a day, 5 days a week. It gives me weekends to kind of catch up. If I missed a day or something happens, I can learn it on the weekend. I tend to do that like a lot more. Like I'm a huge fan of taking not weekends off, but setting whatever my weekly goals are, setting it to, let's say, 5 or 6 days, so that way if something happens, right, let's say, you know, maybe your work calls you in, tragedy in the family, injury, you go to the hospital, something like that, you're not behind the rest of the year. So I always set it up. This year I'm doing basically 5 days a week of active Japanese study, and the weekends, it's not that I'm not studying, I'm just not inputting new things because I schedule all of my stuff for 5 days along with reviewing and using it those 5 days. But the last 2 days are hello review if I'm struggling with something, or if something comes up that week, and let's say I go Monday through Friday, right? But Thursday something bad happens and I just can't study like I need to, well, I can just do it Saturday and I'm not behind for the week. So I'm not a huge fan of doing 7 days a week, all intake, right now, at least for me. That just works with my schedule. It accounts for being a real person in the real world. Then I want to finish my N1 vocab, which I should have pulled. Do I have it? Oh, it's kind of close. It's on my bed. I always keep it on my bed because I'm just constantly looking at it. I'm running... This is the Hajimete no Nihongo no Ryoku Shiken N1 Tango series. This is the final book. And if you can't tell, I'm pretty deep. About halfway, give or take. So I calculated. Oh, I guess I didn't calculate it, but I did count it. I know how much I have to do that's left in here. And about 3 words per day, 5 days a week, and I should be able to finish this as well. So I think I have close to 700 words left in all of the 3001. So that's, I want to finish that by the end of the year. Obviously, finishing, I got these guys done, so I'm doing my next books already that are coming out. For YouTube, actually, why don't I should probably, before I go do that, let's look at last year's goals. Let's see if I accomplished those. Do I have them on here? I don't know. We'll see. I should have, where would they be? They would be at the beginning. Oh, St. Chatty's. By the way, St. Chatty's is coming up. Holy crap. If you guys aren't aware, St. Chatty's, look at the replays. It's a live stream that I do where, hey, you ever wanted to hurt your favorite YouTuber? You can do that. You can shock me, make me eat ghost chilies or whatever we get every year. It's hotter. Just all around make me miserable. And the money that's donated that does it helps me improve the channel. That's essentially all it is. It just allows me to keep making, not only keep making good videos, but to keep pushing my videos and making them as good as I can possibly make them, and my streaming, of course. So close to where it would be. It's probably... Oop. That's not it, but that's close. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm right with you. Lots of old video scripts. This is really cool to sit through. Japanese 2020 goals, right? Is this it? Okay. So I wanted to learn 1,300 new words and phrases in my memorized deck. Mind you, when I started last year, I didn't start this book until May, and I have 700 words left, which means I learned 2,300 words and phrases from this book-ish, right? I'm sure there's plenty I already knew. Plenty, I'm looking at it. There's not a lot I already knew when I was in there. But that means I almost doubled that. I almost doubled my new word and phrase intake, which is really, really good. I know I felt like I killed it just on learning new words this year. This year I want to finish Genki 2 and learn some kanji on the side. Maybe look into pitch accent. I don't know about you, but I think it adds character to speech. Pitch accent is super dope. I wish I got into it earlier. But truthfully, my focus, I think a lot of people have this, right? You have this idea where it's like, I just want to be fluent, and you stop the sentence there. But then it's like, what does that mean? Because then I was like, well, I don't want to be... Really, my goal is not to read, I don't know, deep philosophy in Japanese. Like, read the Nietzsche's of Japan. I don't really care. It doesn't interest me. So it doesn't matter if I understand that, to me. But I do want to read manga. I want to read novels and read Harry Potter and not need to look anything up, or read fantasy books and not need to look anything up. So that's kind of my level. But also with speaking, it was like, if I could talk to my friends, we understand each other, and it's great... then I don't care if I sound 100% perfect. And in fact, I remember making this conscious decision. I saw people who were bilingual, like there's that girl on Modern Family who's Spanish, and she has that really cool accent that I think is very attractive, having like a little bit of an accent. You have to be understandable, a little bit of an accent. And so I was like, I don't know if I want... Like, I think it's kind of cool if I'm calling someone over the phone, and it doesn't sound like I'm super foreign, like I'm going, Yoroshiku onegaishimasu, right? But having a little bit of that American English tinge, I think, is kind of cool. So I'm not trying to be 100% perfect. But pitch helps a lot just with understanding, right? With ame, right? Ame or ame. Between, like, rain and candy and just... I mean, literally, ame, like the and me, right? That's candy and rain and I think, like, 4 other things. But the pitch is what changes it. So it is good for understanding. In all of my years speaking it in Japan, pitch has probably been an issue for me. I can count on one hand after years of being there and working there and working with Japanese people and being on Japanese Skype calls. So it's not a priority, but it is something I think is super duper cool. And if people really, you want to be like, mwah, the speaker, right, the man, then yeah, please, please, please learn pitch. For me, reading was my real focus. I love reading. I wish I could show you guys my crazy bookshelves. So for me, it was like reading was my priority. It wasn't even speaking. Although I want to learn all of it, it was just like, if I could read a page out of a book, to me that was way more impressive than a 5-minute conversation. So reading was my goal. which is why a lot of my goals kind of reflect reading. Yes, thank you. Really, really roll that ruh. Yoroshiku. Get as American as you could make it. I also wanted to learn, these were smaller goals, but these are things that I never learned because I was so focused on passing the JLPT. I wanted to learn the 50 most common Japanese surnames and the 50 most common names. And not only did I learn those, I learned the 100 most common, and like the kanjis, like how to read them, by the way. That's kind of what I mean by this is, I mean, anyone knows Tanaka, but I want to learn to read them. So I learned to read the 100 most common first and last names. And for first names, I learned it for boys and girls, too. So I separated those lists into 50 and 50. And on top of that, I learned a bunch, which I didn't even realize I liked this. I was just curious one day. I learned a bunch of Japanese geography, so I can write and name and read all the prefectures, all the capital cities of those prefectures, and then a lot of geography in my city, Fukuoka, where I go all the time. Like all of the street names, all of the train station stops, all of like the different districts there. I learned everything that had to do with Fukuoka just because I was curious. I knew a lot of it already, but I kind of wanted to be like a completionist, right, to finish it all. Let's go back to chat real quick just so I can say hi to people. Yo, what's up? I've heard you mention that you live in Denver. I'm 45 minutes south in the Springs. No freaking joke. Any good learning habits you recommend? Or study habits? Yeah, consistency. So set a schedule and just do it. And even if what you're studying isn't the best way or the most optimal way, it might not even be the way that you're going to keep studying, stick with it long enough to see what the results are. A lot of people go from like, they'll see one person who's really fluent on YouTube and will pick up their thing first just because they're the first person that they see. Then they'll go to the next person and then they see that dude's maybe better or he claims he learned it faster. And so they can switch over to him. And they keep moving plans. And you always kind of have to start over when you do it a little bit. And you just end up going nowhere and you feel like you're spinning your tires. And so pick something and just freaking run with it long enough to see how it works. Like consistency is so big. By the way, I am in Denver. The Springs has a Japanese population, so I worked for the Japanese consulate here in Denver for about 6 months. They traded out their consulates, what is it? Because I wasn't working with the consulate general, I was the guy below him. I think it's just consular? Either way. And I was his speech, I was helping his speeches, so he would write a speech and he would do it in English and Japanese. They usually do it bilingually. And he writes his Japanese perfect because he's a Japanese guy. And I would read his Japanese and read his English. And I would go, okay, so you need to fix this, right? So that was a job I had for like 6 months. He told me that there's a big Japanese population in the Springs. There should be, Mr. Sushi, if I were you, go to meetups. Oh, actually, you know what? Look, Kaiwa clubs. There are tons in Colorado of Kaiwa clubs. In fact, lots of the universities in the metro area have sister cities in Japan where they trade schools, so there's lots of Japanese people. Highly, highly recommend you go and get on meetup.com and look up Kaiwa. I'll just type it out for you. Kaiwa Club. I also have a video about it with detailed instructions. You can go on my channel, just type in that, Kaiwa Club. It'll be the first video, if that helps. Also for learning habits, SRS systems, if you're not in those help a ton for me. Highly, highly recommend you really bombard yourself with listening if that's something you want to. Like, just have it on all the time. I have a video about Twitch channels in Japanese I recommend. I'm not trying to plug myself. I've talked about all of these already. Go onto my channel, look up that. There's tons of just passive Japanese channels that you can just keep on in the background while you're doing anything. Just to get you used to the language. That's a really good one I like. I'll look at Denver too because it's so close. Okay, yeah, so now you're talking. Like, Denver has a big pop, a huge population. And there's, beyond the consulate, like, I had to be at a lot of speeches that he was at, and there was lots of Japanese people. So there's Denver's a really good place for Japanese, really. We actually have a university, the one in Boulder, right by the Flatirons. What is it? CU Boulder. It has like a world-class Japanese program. It's a really good program. It's recognized in, like, a lot of universities go, oh, that's a really good school for Japanese. So highly recommend that. I think that's about, am I caught up? Please tell me. It's inspiring how language is a journey, not just a quick class for a year. It really takes you places and you can always learn and enjoy more. Yeah, Kate, there was a lot of last year that was huge for me because I was so used to studying for tests that I finally got to like enjoy stuff. So I got to learn like something you're not going to learn in a textbook, like each prefecture's capital city. Or like learning math again, but in Japanese. Like you get to relearn math and how all the words come together and how they phrase math sentences. Because we would say 1 + 1 = 2. That's very simple. But or like Pythagorean theorem, right? A² + B² = C², something like that. I don't know. Equals MC². I don't know. I'm not a physicist, guys. I'm an entertainer. But you get to relearn that stuff. And it's almost like you get to see the world through like a fresh lens. And by the way, when you're learning it through another culture, you're almost forcing yourself to see it through their lens. It's super freaking cool. I'm a huge fan of once you hit Henry. Oh my God. Sorry, I had to bless the king there. Once you get a good baseline in Japanese, and you'll feel this, Kate. So you're in Genki too. So you're building up that foundation, and that's perfect. That's exactly where you should be. There's no shame in that. Like, stay in there as long as you need to be. Once you have a really nice foundation to where you can maneuver the language, a whole new world opens up. And it's very specific, right? Like, I know lots of skateboarding words and fishing words because I love to fish, I love to skateboard. And all my friends in Japan are skateboarders, so they talk to me and share videos with me, and we talk to each other like that. But if you're someone who likes rap music, you're going to know words that are different from fishing. And I know words in fishing that someone who's maybe super fluent in Japanese but never watched a fishing TV show in Japanese, they don't know what a hit is or a strike. Right? Like in English, it's a tari, by the way. So it's super fun. Like once you get that foundation, you just get to explode into the world and be like a flower. You bloom, and it just takes you to all sorts of really fun places. I enjoyed relearning music terms. Oh, no way, you learned music terms. I don't even know those. But also yeah, that happens. Sometimes things are more clear in one language. So I imagine that's definitely the case. Gosh, my throat's already leaving. I need to stream more. I'm losing my throat muscles. Oh, you like Japanese rap? Me too. I'm a big fan. If you look at my Infinite Japanese playlist, the one that I have on my channel, you'll see I enjoy the Japanese rap music. There's a lot on there. Sorry, my throat's getting all jacked up. Let me take a sip. We'll keep going through. Last thing on my list. This is one I didn't finish last year. So here's one I didn't achieve. If you guys remember my 2021 goals. Finish the RTK book. So it's basically I had to learn 800 kanjis. I think I have like 100 left in the final RTK kanji book. And I told you guys earlier in the stream, I have like 100 left, which means I didn't finish it. I was 100 short. But that's okay. Like, here's a great example. And let me get back to my goals real quick on my other page. Here's a great example of something where you see a YouTuber, right? And they go, oh, look at how great I am. I did all my achievements. Look at how much I achieved. If you know me in real life, that's not how I am. I just have to kind of explain my goals. Here's one I didn't achieve. I did not finish that goal. And it was because of a lot of things. I was working a lot. Got back into grad school doing double the course load. And I had to pick up another job because of Corona, right? So here's an example of life really hitting me hard to where one of my goals I had to kind of let go of. I had to go, in the last months of December, I had to work a lot. So I was like, how am I going to study all of this Japanese, all the stuff I need for grad school? Working, by the way, 2 jobs, doing YouTube and that, which I know it might just be like, oh, you just turn on the camera, Chad, and if you think that's what my job is, I highly encourage, I need to do a behind-the-scenes video so you guys can see. My videos, on average, take 13 hours to make. From writing the scripts all the way to it being posted, 13 hours. That's my average. I was working a lot. And, by the way, publishing 2 books and finishing a yokai 3rd book that's coming out soon, and a sequel to this that'll be out in March. So, I was busy, and a second job. So, one of these things that I had to do was going, look, I strive as hard as I can to hit all those goals. And they're great. Goals are a great thing. But life happens. This is also why I'm very critical. I'm not very critical, but like, of long-term, like, hella Japanese all the time rejecting English. I did that for about 6 months and almost burned myself into the ground where I quit Japanese forever. There's people that can do way longer than that. I apparently am very weak-willed compared to them, so bravo to you guys, okay? But it just about killed my love for the language, and I was like, you know what? Preserving my love for the language is more important than this. Same thing here. I was like, look, I learned all these names, all this geography, all these words, and I still learned 700 of the 800 kanji I needed. Just, you know what, dude? You did good. Pat on the back, right? That's how many of you guys as a language learner say that to yourself. You did good this week. Hey, all of those goals that you set, let's say you wanted to learn 25 words this week, you want to finish a chapter. When you finish, a lot of us, myself included, I'm prone to this. I'll go, and just be like, fine, I'm done. Throw my book. I don't want to look at it till tomorrow, right? I've been there, guys. Trust me. That was me in the Genki books. But how often do we hit those goals and take a second to go, freaking A, yeah, good job, dude. Like you, the guy I'm looking in the mirror, you did a good job. I'm proud of you. You worked so hard that it took a pandemic for you to not hit one of your goals. Good for you. That's why I tell myself, good for freaking you. That tells me that this next year, not only are you going to finish that book, you're going to do 1,000 other things that are way impressive. And I hope you guys have that same feeling where it's like, crap, yeah, man, you know what? I think it's okay. I think it's okay to not hit my goals as long as I am trying to hit them. Sorry. Oh, Joe, what's going on? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat. Yeah, I know. Wanikani's been helping me slaughter kanji. Do it. Wanikani's cool. I'm actually friends with one of the developers for that. Small changes lead to big results. It's the same with language. Yep. Lots of it's very little cramming. Like so much of my Japanese progress, almost none of it came from the times I had to cram. Almost all of it came from slow, steady steps, like I said earlier, right? Like 5 words a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And that over 4 years is, I mean, think about it. 5 words a day. Let's just do the math real quick, right? 5 words a day, 5 days a week, 25 words, 52 weeks a year. That's 1,300. Let's say over 4 years, right? Just for wherever you're at, 4 years. That's 5,200 words. And that's I would consider that a very casual learner, is 5 words a day and only 5 days a week. Right, not including Saturday and Sunday, and 4 years, right? I've been studying for, I think February will be 6 or 7. I'll have to check. I don't exactly remember. I think I started, was it 2015 or 2014? 2015 is 6. I'll check later. That's a lot of words, right? Like, it really is small things consistently over a long period of time. Have you read the book Atomic Habits? I haven't. I have read what is it? It's like some number of habits for highly effective people. It's been a long time. Hey man, I am weak. I'm not perfect. I wish I was perfect. Oh, he stopped smoking. That's freaking impressive. Yo, Yoko, what's cracking? Man, the freaking old anime night team's here. This almost makes you want to have an anime night. I don't mean to be that guy, but has anyone used Wanikani and got to the level you want to be at? I don't know of anyone who has for me. I mean, I know the guy made it, and he's at a very good level. I don't know. I don't really keep up with how, like, when I see someone that's really good, the weird thing is my temptation isn't even to go, how did you get there? Like, I don't know. I'm always so impressed. I'm just like stuck in the impressed, like, frick, you did something that's really hard. It's like when you see someone that can like deadlift 500 pounds and you go, I'm not as curious as how you did that, because I really know. It's just consistent working out, good diet, you know, over a long period of time, right? No one does that in a year. You do that over 5, 10 years. 5 years, if you do that in 5 years, geez, you're impressive. But I'm more impressed than anything. And guess what else? Skip class to watch your stream. Well, you know, I can't sanction that, but I am happy you're here. I'm happy to see you. I am intrigued, and congratulations on quitting. Good morning, Moments with Nick. Happy New Year. From Kyoto. Well, stay safe, my friend. I don't think Kyoto's not on that new round, is it? On the new round of emergency status. Fukuoka just got added to that, which I'm mad about. It means I have to wait longer to go home, but that's okay. Plus, it's a test right now. But you're too good for the test. I see. A good speaker does not necessarily make a good teacher. Also true. And by the way, gosh, that is so true, isn't it? You know what's weird? Some of my best teachers in Japanese were not my Japanese teachers. they were foreigners, because they understood like my brain and how to fix the thing that I needed. And then on top of that, some of the best teachers I've had that like I've read textbooks that were made by people that I'm like, wow, this is really outstanding. And I look at the person and they have like an interview and I listen to them speak Japanese and I go, huh. Because it's not all about that. Like if the person can form sentences natively in his head and do it, you know, without a lot of delay, yeah, he's talking fluently, but he might have like a very odd accent or his pitch might be weird, or maybe like me, I forget words constantly. Happens all the time. So, and then also there's people that are really good at the skill of teaching, right? Conveying knowledge that might not be the best speaker. I mean, I put myself in that group, right? Like can you see my hand? Yeah. My hand's up. I am not Dogen. I'm not Matt versus Japan. I can't speak like that. God, I wish. Oh, my nipples, they'd be so hard. But I'm encouraging. And I think, I don't know, maybe I'm arrogant. I think I'm a pretty good teacher. I think I can convey ideas and concepts in a way that is a lot easier than someone just reading them out of a grammar textbook. Or maybe they're just someone that got beat down from that textbook and they want to go, Chad, I want to quit. And I can sit there and be like, dude, there's about 8 times I wanted to quit, so I know exactly where you're at. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Let's see what's going on. I think that's really my skill. I think it's even less about teaching and more about just being really understanding and encouraging. Like, I'm not even trying to be one of those encouragement channels. I'm not a motivation channel. I freaking been there. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be the worst in the class, and then that drove me to be the best. And now, not that I'm the best, but when I graduated my class, I was definitely the best in my class. And then now when I see people that also feel bad, I go, dude, I know. I've freaking been there. And I promise you can do it. And I can say that confidently because that was me. I was not the dude who was at the top of the class the whole time. I struggled through Genki. It's crazy. Yeah, same with Kyoto, just added. Bummer. Gosh, they had all these big plans to open up. They were trying to open up so much earlier. I know all my Japanese friends are really, none of them were really into politics, and they got super pissed at the guy, the new PM. So it's funny to see their posts on my line and on our Instagram and stuff. Chad, I've been bad with Japanese. That's okay, Brooke. We've all been a little bad. Sometimes it's nice to be a little bad, you know? Eat a little chocolate. Yamete kudasai. Chad, read this and Yamete kudasai. That's the best I could do. My throat's really, I don't know if you guys can tell, my throat's really jacked up. I was so used to streaming for a long period. I don't even know why. I know this is off topic. I'm sorry, guys. Being able to stream for a long time and like have your full voice is actually like a muscle. It's like a skill. It's like singing. And I've been out of stream practice for a while, so talking this much is like, I sound like I smoke cigarettes. I have an English vocabulary building book, and I learn a new word every day. Language learn. Yep, exactly. And I assume you're a native English speaker, right, Mr. Sushi? Because that's the same way with me. I'm in grad school. I don't have any of my the books I'm reading. I'm reading books like this thick, and there's words constantly that I'm coming across. I'm like, what? What is this? And I'm a native English speaker, and so it's humbled me with Japanese to go, you know what? Maybe it's okay I don't know every word on every page of every book. I think I can allow myself to be on the journey and not just constantly be heading for a destination. Sometimes it's nice to just wander around a little bit. No, and Brooke, bad is okay, because you know what that means? You recognize it, and you have the ability to restart whenever you're ready. Whenever your life is like, you know what? It's calmed enough that I miss Japanese, I want to do it, then you're good to go. Oh, you're from Nebraska. I've hunted pheasant in Nebraska. It's a good place. Oh, was it Nebraska? Crap, Holyoke. That might be Nebraska. I don't remember. What am I studying right now? So I'm finishing, I have about 700 words in this. I have 700 words in my archaic Japanese kanji book that I'm finishing. And then right now, I'm really excited. The vast majority of the words I learn are just from books. Like I have, beyond the manga club, by the way, I have a lot of books from the manga club, so I'll never run out of Japanese material. But I just have a huge collection of my own in Japanese. And whenever I encounter a word, I just go, what's that? Look it up in my monolingual Japanese dictionary and go, got it. And then just put that in my SRS deck, and that's how I learned the majority of my words. But I wanted to finish this book cover to cover. I'm the type of person that when I start something, even if I'm not planning on taking the N1, which is what this is for, just, you know, you start something, it feels good. It feels really good to finish it. And mind you, it's not like there's a lot of words in here that are really common that you really do need in your day-to-day life. I know everyone likes, there's that rumor that goes around like, oh, you don't really need N1. That's for like scholastics. No. Like, so much of the words used in daily life or that you read or see are in this N1 book. So I'm just going through this, and you know, when it's done, it should be done closer to October. At that point, I don't have a plan for a formal word input other than I just read a lot of Japanese books. Like, that's just a passion of mine. I really love reading. Like, I love reading more than I love speaking Japanese, more than I love watching anime in Japanese. I just love reading. And so I will always find words to add to decks. What else? Nobody knows everything, and the people who claim are liars are dumb. Well, they might know, if they are dumb, they might know everything in their little small sphere, right? Like, I know everything in this ball. And then you go, what about outside the ball? And they go, shh, there's nothing outside the ball. Yeah, right. So N1, there's this weird idea, and mind you, I had this idea, right? Like, I had this. I was told this, and so when I never really studied a language to fluency before. So when people tell you, oh yeah, N1 is like, that's like fluent, dude, you believe them because you're like, you don't know any better. And so I thought N1 or N2 was like hella fluent. And then you get up here and you go, yeah, this ain't fluent at all. And then you look at N1 and you go, I'm really not that far from N1 right now, like where I'm at in my knowledge base. And I'm telling you guys, it's not that high. I think of these later JLPT levels as, here's a good reading basis. This tells you nothing for anything outside really of reading, right? Not even really writing, because you don't learn stroke orders all that at all with the JLPT. But it really does allow you what is it? It allows you a good place to aim for, right? When you're a newbie, it's kind of hard to, in the abstract, to go read a book. So it's nice to be able to look at a test that goes, oh yeah, you learn a certain amount of thousands of words, and it kind of lets you, you know, tier your goals a little bit. So I'm not mad at the JLPT. I understand. It's just not that, it's really not that high of a level. And as Henry says there, right, you can pass N1 and not talk. It's not a talking test, guys. There's a lot of people who just sit in a book and never really output the language at all, and they just input. Never really practice. They can't form sentences because the JLPT really is not about forming sentences. It's about decoding the sentence in front of you so you can understand it. Right? It's not even the second part of that skill. Right? It's the one part of that skill. So yeah, again, if you guys want to study for JLPT, go for it. So I have no problem with that. I think it's for people who are new to the language, who are lower level at the language, it helps them get a good goal. But this is not the end-all be-all, guys. Trust me. I remember I was already into studying for N1 when I wasn't passing the N2, and the minute I stopped treating the N2 like a dumb test, and I just was like learning Japanese to learn Japanese and to understand and comprehend and be able to speak and read, that year I passed. And I passed with a decent score, I think. So, anyways, enough sidetracking. Favorite book, English or Japanese? English is, let me look on my shelf. I don't want to be basic and say Tolkien. Let me go, oh! Got it. Sorry, that was loud. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. My bad, guys. So it's got to be, what's the dude's name? The Name of the Wind. Who wrote The Name of the Wind? It's the Kingkiller Chronicles, but who wrote it? There's 3 books. Well, there's going to be a 3rd book. There's 2 books right now, and it's like my favorite book. I love this. Patrick Rothfuss. That's his name. And so there's The Name of the Wind. There's, oh, what's the other one? It's a fantasy, but it's my favorite fantasy world. I love it. Hold on. First book, Name of the Wind, and then The Wise Man's Fear was the second one. Then there's a third book coming out, which I think is called The Doors of Stone, but that hasn't come out yet. Japanese-wise, it's got to be something by Shusaku, like Endo Shusaku. I don't know why I'm pausing there. Shusaku. I must be really tired. Endo Shusaku. Shusaku Endo. I just like his writing style. He's very, like, abstract and interesting. I don't know. I like him a lot. I got into him because he has a book about tattoo, like this kind of taboo sense of tattooing this girl. That was really fun. It was a really short read, too. It wasn't that long. And then I found out there was a movie that came out by Scorsese, I think, called Silence, and he wrote the book for that, so I bought that one. I actually have that one on my shelf, along with the tattooing one. And then he has one that I really love. It's, I don't want to get up and go grab my books. It's like, it's not Love and Poison. I think it's the Sea and Poison or something like that. God, that is a... It almost reminds me of Russian literature. It's depressing, but whereas Russian, it's like depressing and bleak, and this is like depressing and beautiful. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But look him up. It's I'll type. I don't have a Japanese keyboard on this computer. Actually, English. Switch to Japanese. Input mode. Can I type in Japanese, please? No? Okay. Well, screw me, I guess. Sorry. Sorry, hold on. Let me catch up. I talked to my dog in Japanese. I promise you, my dog Sophie has been one of my best conversation partners. Have you heard of the Japanese movie Tom Popo? I do know Tokyo Drifter. I don't... Tom Popo. Let's see. Do I know this one? I don't know this one. It says Western comedy. That's funny. No, I don't know this one. I'll watch it, though. Literally dandelion. What's your favorite translation of the Jesus book? So a lot of what I have to do with schools in Greek. So I just read the Nestle in Greek because when you cite, they specifically say in my school we have to cite in Greek. They won't let us. I mean, you can cite in any of the actual text languages, but it has to be one of the official ones. But Greek is like mandatory. You have to cite in that. So I read it mostly in Greek. ESV in English. If I'm casually reading or I'm setting up something like a Bible study or something, ESV is really good. New King James is really cool because I don't really like the King James because they do... there's things that don't line up with the Greek, but the New King James actually retained a lot of stuff. They basically Anglicanized a lot of Greek words that a lot of other translations didn't do a good job on. Like, so antitype, they actually maintain the word, so it's antitypos is the Greek. It means the... So you have the type, right? Like a type and shadow of something. So, what's a good example? Like Christians always say, right, when you slaughter the lamb for the Pesach, right? When they kill the lambs, they spread the blood on the door, and the angel of death passes over. That blood sprinkling is much like the sacrifice of Jesus, right? That's a type and shadow of that future event that's happening. Jews obviously wouldn't say that, but Christians would. A lot of people use that as represents, but the real word is antitype in like 1 Peter 2, antitypos, and so they actually just leave it as antitype, which is the reality of the thing the type pointed to. So I really like the New King James for that. It's a ramen noodle western. I love it. Okay, I will definitely watch it. Average Bot, greetings from Germany. Thanks for being so encouraging all the time. I'm right at the beginning of my journey, but I have a feeling with your help and content, I might reach my goals someday. Man, even without me, you're gonna kick your goals like square in the nards, right? Like you are going to achieve it. You don't need me. If I can be along for the ride and be helpful, I would love to be. I'd love seeing people like. There's a lot of people in this chat that we met when all of us were a lot lower level and now at a lot higher level. It's cool that we can talk to each other about that stuff. So it's just super fun. Like, I'm glad you're in the community. I'm happy you're here. I'm glad to meet you, Average Bot. I don't know your real name, but Average Bot. Good to meet you. Crap, this was supposed to be a State of the Union. This wasn't meant to be a live stream. Hold on. Crap. Did I do... Oh, my YouTube goals. So my YouTube goals last year were really low. I was trying to hit 14,000 subs. This year, we got to 18,000 by the end of December. So I doubled. Or no, I started at the year at like 12,000. So I was expecting to get 2,000, and I got to 8,000. So I tripled that. Yeah, really cool, which is why now I have access to memberships and merchandise, which I'm going to start setting up. So I guess my goal, honestly, for 20... I obviously, the shutdowns helped me. It's kind of hard to say, but like people were home, so they were watching videos. I don't expect that to be the case for all of 2021, so I expect to kind of have a bit more normal of growth. So my YouTube subscriber goal for next year, you can write this down, 20,000 subs. It's about 2K away. I probably should make it a higher goal, but I think 2K, if I'm consistent, if I work hard, if I'm engaging, and I just keep being Chad, right? I just keep being the dude that everyone here, the 18,000 of you who have already subbed for, I think we'll be okay. I also have the goal of 4 million channel views. From what I can tell, let's see how many channel views I have right now. This is just behind the scenes stuff, by the way. This is just stuff that I'm a fan of, so I like to do. Wow, I'm about to pass 400 videos. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, I have 5,000 views over 3 million views. So I have to get another million views this year. Now that's hard for me. I'm used to getting like 600,000 to 700,000 views a year. At least on public videos, right? Because there's lots of live stream stuff that I take down after, and you know, those obviously don't count. But of videos, I need to get 1 million views, which is tricky because think about it. I put out 1 video a week if I'm consistent, so 52 at best. So you have to divide 1 million by 52. Although that also counts for all of my videos, I guess. So let's put it this way: I need to get, maybe what will it be at 420, or was it 4? I guess around 450, right? So I have to divide 1 million views by 450. So I need all of my videos to increase 2,200 views this next year. Doable, doable. Very, very hard for me. Historically, not my trend, but I like to reach. I like to be exciting. 20K for next year is the goal. But if you work hard, success will follow, probably. You know, that's what we all tell each other. By the way, if you guys haven't, it'd mean a lot if you subscribe. You can subscribe to me here. I have a Twitch you can subscribe to. My link down below has all my stuff. You guys can check out my books on Amazon, all that other stuff. That's the plug I got to get there. So I'm working hard. I promise you guys I am working hard. But I think 20K for subs, 1 million for views is a good barometer of like that'd be a pretty sweet year. I have stuff with goals with my tiny house. I am building a tiny house because I want to be a full-time YouTuber, and it helps to, you know, not have rent or mortgage. I have school goals. I don't think you guys care about that. By the way, my GPA is 3.9. I'm in the top like 2% of my school, so that feels really good. A lot of stuff to do with my business and guiding. And again, I have to wait for Japan to open up for that. But yeah, man, working my butt off. Gonna try my best to succeed this year, guys. And hopefully you guys will stick around with me for it. So still got that bet with Indie Notes 2, by the way. Oh, with Lindy? What's the bet? What's your book about? Well, so these books, I worked with a team in Russia to bring... This is a translation of a bunch of their fairy tales. I'm sorry, this does not do it justice. This is a really beautiful book. If you guys look on the Amazon link, you'll see. And so this is like... I'll just pull up I don't know, some section. Let's do... I don't know. What's my favorite picture? One of my favorite pictures. This one's really cool. Ilya from Mormon. So it's a team of like illustrators and translators that brought these together. If you guys watch John Wick, you guys know the Baba Yaga that they say, that's in here. And then I worked with the illustrator to turn the drawings from the book into, you know, a coloring book for people. And the coloring book's like $5. So I own like a bunch of these. I love coloring books. So, and we finished these. I have the second volume of this coming out in March. I have our Japanese book that we're making. We're doing one of these with Japanese yokai, where it'll actually, as you're coloring the book, it'll teach you to actually learn how to write the names and write the kanjis and how to read them. for the yokai that are in there. So just a lot of fun stuff that I'm working on myself. I'm really trying hard to not just translate bullcrap. Like, I'm so sick of translating. I have so much translation experience over the last 3 years, but it's all with stuff that is not impressive on a resume. It's like, or not that I care about a resume, I'm self-employed, but it's like, you want to feel something. You want to feel proud, and like saying I translated how to assemble furniture for some crappy Japanese company that they hired me on a third-party site to translate. Like, I'm not proud of that. I'm really proud of this. Like, this is very meaningful for me. So I want to do it with Japanese too. Anyways, 3.9 is good. Thank you, Henry. I worked unbelievably hard for that, and I'm very proud of it. Bad mistype, but the bet was she was supposed to post a video with you on our channel, and it was a $5 bet they would gain like 5K more people within the next month. So that was right in the middle of the pandemic, so we didn't get to film that. But the offer's open. It's out there for us to collab again. I haven't, obviously from the start of this video, haven't had the time to reach out and be like, hey, how is stuff? Because I was trying to hold my life together. But that should still be in the works. I'm just giving both of us enough time to kind of catch ourselves. Yokai coloring book, I'm in. Please do. I think it'll be super duper cool. In fact, Hentai Daddy, if you want to see some examples, there's one. Is this one? Oh, there's one. These are some of the yokai that are going to be in the book. Mind you, there's going to be really cool backgrounds. I actually have quite a bit. Let me see. Let me show you some other ones that have like backgrounds in them. This one has a background. I'll show you this one too. Oh, there it is. So, ready? Boop. Look at this. Oh, I gotta resize it. Sorry. Look at this one. Oop. Bring it. There it is. You guys don't need to see me. It's fine. Look at that. Look how freaking cool that is. So this will be one whole page where you can always like color it and draw it however you want. And then on the left side of the page, you guys are gonna see like over like here. If this was right here, right here, then right here will be another page, and it'll teach you, it'll have like a paragraph explaining the yokai and a little bit of its story, kind of a summary. It's not meant to be super in-depth. Then you'll have a section teaching you like the kanji and how to write it and how to read it, so that way later in the book when you encounter yokai that have similar names, or they share kanjis, you can go, oh crap, I know how to read that now. So it's just meant to be small and fun. Like it's not gonna be expensive. It's gonna be like, you know, $6-7 max. But I'll have 50 pictures. You'll probably learn, I don't know, 200 unique kanjis, probably is what it'll come out to. I've never seen someone try and teach Japanese with a coloring book and something so fun like yokai. So I have this thing, right, where I'm like, I don't know, I just want to do stuff that's fun. Like that's creative, that can make something new, that's fun, and that helps people. That's what my whole channel is, and that's, I think, embodied in these images. So I will just take these off the screen now. I don't think y'all need to see these forever. But yeah, so oop. Isn't that rad? Oh, I love it. Anyways, I think that's about it for today, guys. It's been about an hour. Thank you so much for coming to the state of the channel. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff. I always do this, but this was so fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for sticking around for 2020, and hopefully into 2021 that you will stay with me, because I can't do any of this without you. Literally, not possible. Would love to. Check out St. Chatty's Day. It'll be on St. Patrick's Day. It'll be a live stream. If you ever want to watch me put a dog collar on that the audience gets to control and shock, St. Chatty's Day. You ever want to see me drink a blended fish? St. Chatty's Day. Oh, one last thing. We did a community live stream like a St. Chatty's Day for Christmas. You guys can check out the video on my channel. That we raised enough money to feed 14,000 homeless people, which was awesome. It was so freaking rad that happened. And even off stream, when I was off stream, there was someone that donated enough money to cover all the card feeds. Because when I go to give money to feed, I was Feeding America or whatever. It was one of the subsidies of that. They were like, "Do you want to cover the cost?" Now they could get the full sum of the stream money because someone off of stream gave enough money to cover the fees. So it was just so cool. But yeah, come check out St. Chatty's Day. Chad Zimmerman, basically on every platform. @That'sMyChat on Twitter. Check out my books. Amazon link in the description down below. Gosh, let's kick the crap out of this year, guys. I'm very much looking forward to it. So, it was good seeing you. Peace. Oop, not peace yet. Now peace.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, can't make